Hello students, this is the fourth video on module 1, and in last video I was explaining you about the basic terms of storage in computer system. So bits, byte and word. So we will continue with this in this video, and I was discussing about the bandwidth. So bandwidth is nothing but what amount of data is being transferred from one unit to the other in a computer system per second. That is, per second, whatever data is, how many bits or how many bytes of data is being transferred from one unit to the other unit is called as a bandwidth of a computer system. So next one, and now we are clear with how the data will be transferred and how the data will be stored in the memory unit. So now we have to know more about the central processing unit. Central processing unit is nothing but the heart of a computer system. So here whatever operations has to be performed, so it will be performed in the central processing unit. So central processing unit, it consists of three units again, that is control unit, arithmetic and logic unit and memory unit. So totally computer system, it consists of 5 units, that is input unit, and central processing unit consists of 3 more units, that is control unit, arithmetic logic unit and memory unit, and also the last unit is output unit. So totally our computer system, it consists of 5 units. So input and output devices will be acting as a input unit and output unit, that is whatever data has to be input to the computer system, it will be done with the help of the input devices like mouse and keyboard. And once the data is being input, it will be transferred to the central processing unit. And in central processing unit, first the data has to be stored. Data or machine instructions, whatever will be there, it has to be stored in the memory unit for further usage and also for processing. So once it has been stored, if that particular instruction has to be executed, if that particular program has to be executed, means it will be fetched from the memory unit and it will be given to the arithmetic or logic unit if some operations has to be performed. If arithmetic like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division operations has to be performed, it has to be passed to the arithmetic or logic unit. And once it has been processed, it will be given back, it will be stored in the memory unit, and again also it will be given to the output device to display the output. So all this like processing of data and reading or writing the data, everything has to be controlled. So this can be controlled with the help of a control unit which is present in the CPU, that is in central processing unit. So this control unit, it will be working based on the processor clock. That is a clock will be maintained within the CPU. It is called as processor clock, and each operation, it has to follow that timing signal. In that particular timing signal, whatever data has to be processed, read or written, so all this has to be done according to the timing signal which is present in the clock, that is the processor clock. That is like here in central processing unit, the synchronization between the operations has to be done in order to achieve the better performance. So that will be taken care by the control unit, and this control unit, it will be passing the signals in order to fetch the data or receive the data, and also to read or write the data or to make the changes to the present data, and also to give the output. So this is about the central processing unit. We will see more about this central processing unit. So first we have to know what is the central processing unit. It's a microprocessor chip which will be developed by Intel, AMD or any other companies. And CPU speed, it depends upon the clock frequency. Higher the clock frequency, more number of instructions can be executed per second. So as I have told you, there will be one clock, processor clock, which will be present within the CPU, and its frequency has to be higher, so that the instructions, which a number of instructions which are being executed per second will be more. Clock frequency is measured in terms of megahertz and gigahertz. So based on this frequency, we are going to judge the performance of a computer system. CPU word size is the largest number of bits that can be handled by CPU in one clock cycle. So I have told you each like a clock signals or processor clock, it will be maintaining the clock cycles, that is in one clock cycle that operation, whether it is a write or read operation, has to be performed based on the bits, like 8 bits, 16 bits, 32 bits, 64 bits, or 128 bits. So this word size value determines number of bit processor, that is whether it is a 8-bit processor, 16-bit processor, 32-bit processor, or 64-bit processor and 128-bit processor. So based on the number of data which is being number of bits of data is being transferred, so based on that we are going to differentiate between the processors. Next is CPU performance also depends upon the RAM, bus speed, and cache size as well. So all this I'll be explaining you in the coming slides. And central processing unit, it is called as the heart of a computer. So CPU, how it works. So CPU, it consists of three basic units: control unit, arithmetic logic unit, and memory unit. So input is given through the input device to the CPU. Then control unit controls the communication within the ALU and the memory unit. So control unit, what it does, it controls the communication between the ALU and the memory unit, decides which circuit has to be activated. For reading instructions, it uses fetch execute mechanism. Control unit gets instruction from the memory. Control unit decides what to do of that instruction and transfer it to the ALU if it is required. So ALU, it performs various arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and also the logical operations like AND, OR, NOT, NAND, all this on that particular instruction. The results of the ALU are stored in the memory or the registers for its further operations. After completing the instructions, stored results are passed to the output devices. To synchronize all these operations, CPU, it will be using its own clock, that is called as system clock or processor clock. So CPU, how it what it does, it executes the stored instructions called as programs. It tells rest of the computer what to do, executes the arithmetic calculations, and also data manipulations. Data manipulations means if any changes has to be done, so that will be taken care by the arithmetic and logic unit, and this will be overall controlled by the CPU. Holds data and instructions which are in the current use, responsible for storing and retrieving the informations on the disk and other media. So this is what our CPU will do. So once we are familiar with what is a CPU, then we have to know more about the memory unit. So memory unit, as I have already told you, it can store the data and also the instructions first before execution. So whatever execution has to be done to that particular data or the instructions or the program, it has to be first stored in the memory unit. Then only our CPU, it can understand that there is some data and instructions which I have to execute. So it will be passing it to the control unit, and from there, if anything has to be calculated, for example, addition or subtraction means, then it will be transferred to the ALU unit. So here, coming to the memory unit. So memory unit, it can be differentiated into two types. So one is primary memory and the other one is a secondary memory. So primary memory is a computer memory that is accessed directly by the CPU. This includes several types of memory such as the processor, cache, and system ROM. So here you can see computer memory, it can be differentiated into two units: primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory, again, it consists of, it is divided into two parts. One is RAM, the other one is ROM. So RAM, again, it is divided into two parts: SRAM and DRAM, that is static RAM and dynamic RAM. And the ROM is non-volatile and it is differentiated into PROM and EPROM and EEPROM. So primary memory refers to the system RAM, ROM, and also cache. Okay, so cache, it will be present within the processor in order to improve the speed of the fetching of the data which is frequently required by the processor. so that it is small in size but very high in cost. So it is less capacity when it is compared with the RAM, and RAM will be of lesser capacity when it is compared with the ROM. RAM or random access memory consists of one or more memory modules that temporarily stores data while a computer is running. RAM is volatile memory, meaning it can be erased when the power is turned off. Therefore, each time you start up your computer, the operating system must be loaded from